It's quiet. Nothing in the room can be heard but the faint sounds of growling from Ahab's hungry hounds, and the shuffling and mumbling of the young X-Men as they lower the body of Scott Summers. He is alive. Barely. Boom Boom charges up a plasma orb. Domino readies her pistol, and Wolverine pops her claws, preparing for revenge. Ahab turns his back on the mutants and descends into the ranks of his horde, stating, "Oh, sweet child, don't you realize that you've already lost? But I am more than happy to stick around and kill a few more mutants for the sport of it. Feast, my hounds!" Honey Badger, again, is the first to attack. She pops her claws and dives into the mutant ranks. Domino steps back, yelling that she is not going to be the one to kill Gabby. Meanwhile, the young X-Men and Cable lay Scott down on the ground. Starting with his hair, Scott begins to transform back into Mimic. And then he dies. "This wasn't even his fight," Iceman comments. The young Hank McCoy examines the room and finds the real Scott Summers huddled in the corner covering his eyes. Scott explains that he doesn't know what's happening. Mimic just took his visor and ran off. Cable hands Cyclops his visor and explains the situation. "He's gone. Ahab killed him, thinking it was you." He helps Cyclops to his feet. "He bought us extra time. We need to go now." Cyclops stands his ground. He won't leave the X-Men. They won't leave the X-Men. The older Jean Grey, however, supports Cable's idea. Even she can't stop this. The twins are turning everyone they touch into hounds. They have already lost enough. Maybe Cable can just teleport the young ones away. Cable explains to Jean that he can't at this point. Ahab will be able to track them wherever they go. "Then we fight!" Cyclops bellows as he runs into the chaos. "We fight for Bloodstorm and for Mimic!" Cable draws his weapon and races after Cyclops. Before he gets too far, he turns to remind Jean that she is their only hope. The future's only hope. She needs to find a way to shut down the twins now. Across the room, the twins, Mannion and Maxime, convert one mutant after another into obedient hounds. They catch and force Boom Boom to attack the others of the X-Force. Next is Warpath, a strong addition to their ranks, they think, as they watch the warrior let out a battle cry into the air. But then, Headmaster Kitty Pryde and the rest of the X-Men team from the mansion, Cannonball, Storm, Angel, Glob, Iceman, Granite, and Armor, flood into the room. Jean warns them all to stay away from the twins. She doesn't know how, but they are turning the X-Men into hounds and they're being overwhelmed. Kitty hears this and tells her team to instead focus their efforts on Ahab. The undersea base rumbles from the battle within. Smoke, fire, and projectiles cloud the already cluttered air, separating the friends and allies. The older Angel soars above it all to find his younger counterpart. They dive down together, tactically picking out the advancing hounds and dropping them elsewhere. Wolverine fights Old Man Logan. Blood spatters in every direction as they refuse to cease their berserker barrage. Marvel Girl and her older counterpart do what they can to stop Rachel Summers' bombardment of psychic energy. Domino screams out, trying to reason with Warpath. When he refuses to listen, she aims her pistol between his eyes. The twins giggle as they convert Granite. Honey Badger is too much for Glob to handle, and it seems Armor is too much for the now possessed Gentle as well. Cannonball crashes into Boom Boom in mid-air, stopping her from carpet bombing his allies. Cyclops and Cable take out Hounds one by one, and in the middle of it all, Storm attacks Ahab. Somehow, Ahab is able to catch Storm with an unexpected counterattack. Ahab barely misses the impalement with his harpoon. Instead, the side of the weapon slices Storm across the ribcage. Storm tries to distance herself, but the twins can see that their master is in need. Mannion rushes Storm and jumps on her back in order to start the conversion process. Storm's resistance is strong, and too much for Mannion alone. The child calls out for her coward brother to help. Maxime sprints through the fire with his head down, apologizing to his sister before giving Storm the command. He orders the African goddess to destroy the mutants, for Ahab, for her new master, and master of all the hounds. Storm screams out as she conjures a massive amount of lightning out of sheer willpower. The bolts dance around the room, attacking each of the remaining mutants. Lightning hammers into the surrounding glass dome that houses them. The following sounds of thunder are deafening. Jean Grey puts up a psychic barrier to protect her and some of the others from the attack. Lightning strikes again and again, cracking the barrier. The swarm of hounds claw at the blockade, attempting to aid in any way they can. Armor attempts to scoop the hounds away, but this only attracts Storm's attention, and the Weather Goddess turns the full force of her attack on Armor. The mental-made mechanism crashes down into Jean's barrier, and the two psychic forces reverberate against each other. The two Jeans desperately try to piece together why they can't find a way to mentally shut down the twins. It shouldn't be this difficult. Of course you can't, Ahab chides. I trained my children in how to defend themselves against the great Jean Grey. So much of your life you spent turning young mutants into weapons against humanity. And yet, it is those very same weapons that will prove your undoing. I believe they call that poetic justice. Inside the psychic barrier, Kid Cable tells the young Marvel Girl and Cyclops it's time to go. Marvel Girl is adamant on staying where they are. She will not leave the X-Men to die, or worse, to live out the rest of their lives as hounds under Ahab's control. Cable grits his teeth and tells Marvel Girl, "Remember when you asked me why I didn't ask you willingly to go back to your own time? Why I've been trying to force you back? This is why. Because the future depends on you. Yet you can't see past what's right in front of you. You looked inside my mind. You saw what the future looks like if you stay. You know how serious this is." Marvel Girl averts her gaze. If they just leave the X-Men to die, what sort of ramifications will that have? They can't clean up one mess just to create another. She claims the real Cable would understand that. Cyclops places a hand on her shoulder and tells her that Kid Cable is right. If them being in the present causes all of this, they have no other choice but to leave. So, Marvel Girl sends out the call. First, to the young Bobby Drake. Currently, him and his older counterpart are skating around the air on their slides made of ice, dodging lightning and freezing hounds in their wake. Bobby doesn't want to leave. He can't go back to how it was before. Bobby, the older counterpart, looks at his younger self and gives him a hug. He makes the young Bobby promise, no matter what happens when he goes back, he finally lets himself be honest with, well, himself. Everything will sort itself out from there. Angel says his goodbyes to his younger counterpart as well. It's a short goodbye, but Warren already knows he'll make himself proud. All the young X-Men converge, and just before Cyclops can give the order, Old Man Logan attacks. He slashes at the young Bobby, chipping away at his icy exterior and tackles him out of the air. Cable turns on his heel and shoots a plasma bolt from his rifle. The fully charged burst of energy sends Old Man Logan flying in the opposite direction, pulling up pieces of the ground with him. That was too close, Cable warns the team. No more playing around. Time slide by 6. The 6 children are coated in a blue light before a portal opens up and takes them all away. Ahab snarls. Damn it, he's taken them. He tells the twins, Maxime and Mannion, you two finish the X-Men. I'll take care of those damn kids. The villain's body illuminates with the same blue light that coated the children as he disappears into the time stream to track them down.